Good afternoon. We are looking at some residential units today, and I wanted to just go over capacitors for a second. So I got my meter set for microfarads. I want to show you why we do the PMs we do. So this unit runs, this is the one that's connected. It's a dual purpose capacitor. So it runs 45.5. So one of them is for the compressor, and that'll run 45 microfarads, and the other one's for the fan, and it should run 5. So here's my good one, my brand new one. So let's go from Herm, which is the compressor, to common, and we have 44.8, right? And now we go to the fan. Give it a second, and we're at 5. So 45.5, that is correct. I'm going to unhook these wires. I'm going to show you how this one's testing. All right, so I installed the new one. I've got this one here. I want to show you why we changed it. It's the same. It's a 45 plus or minus 5. So let's check the fan. It's a little rusty, so sometimes you got to work it to get connection. And our fan is at 4.5. So it is a 5 microfarad capacitor for the fan with a 6% plus or minus tolerance. Well, 10% of 5 is 0.5, and that's already what we've lost. Hang on, so I lost connection here. So the fact that you're at 4.5, right, 4.18, you are at greater than a 10% loss, and although it's still starting the fan for now, it's outside of its tolerance, 6%. So, I mean, if you want to be real specific, you can, do 5 times 0.06, and it'll tell you the appropriate amount of loss. But again, just common sense. 10% of 5 is, move the decimal, 0.5, which means 4.5 is 10%. We're at 4.5 or less. So you get 10% failure on that. 6 allowed. Change it. We do PMs on these units twice a year. We come out and we check these exact things because it's late April. It's still pretty comfortable out. But for the next 4 months, these units are just going to be, wide open. So instead of waiting for the fan to be dead and me to be across town and him to not have air conditioner, we come in and we check the contactors, the capacitors, make sure everything's good. And actually all 3 of these units tested short, so we're changing them all. So this is the second unit. I just wanted to show because, I mean, it's common sense if you've done it, but, show all the steps. I pulled a disconnect, right? So this is just a removable disconnect that way, so we're good. A capacitor by design stores power. So take an insulated pair of something and connect all the terminals, and this will discharge, and then you can safely handle that capacitor and the wires without getting zapped. But yeah, whenever you're dealing with a capacitor, always make a contact just like that. It's not going to arc and spark and zap. It's just going to discharge the terminals to one another and make it safe to handle.